with it being the trading deadline season, okay? A lot of the players on this team have been in trade talks, right? And Alec Burks is one of them, okay? Alec Burks has been playing phenomenally. Like the past couple of weeks, man. He had a 30 ball yesterday against the Milwaukee Bucks. Played his ass off, by the way. The New York Knicks have trade interest in Alec Burks, along with the New Orleans Pelicans as well, okay? The reason why we're going to talk about the Knicks is because the Knicks right now, I think, want to make a deep playoff run. I think they're set up to at least get out of the first round. They just traded for OG Anunoby. What you have to know about Alec Burks is Tom Thibodeau loves Alec Burks, by the way. He loves him. Read multiple articles over the past couple of months, and they always cite that Tom Thibodeau loves Alec Burks, and he's one of his favorite players he's ever coached at any level. Now, the New York Knicks do have draft capital. They own the Detroit Pistons first-round pick, for you guys that don't know. Okay. Alec Burks is on an expiring $10 million contract. Now, whether you want to trade him at the deadline or you just don't want to bring him back, you can. I think the Pistons are going to get some offers for Burks. Just the way he's been playing, man. Like, Alec Burks has been playing so damn well lately that I think the Pistons could get something decent. I really do. I just don't – I don't know what the Pistons are going to do with it, right? Because Bojan Bogdanovic, for example, like, there were trade offers for him last year, we learned, but the Pistons weren't willing to, step down from their asking price. I don't know what their asking price for Burks is. The Pelicans obviously interested, the Knicks interested. If I was the Pistons, I would want my first round draft pick back because there's protections on it, and it's going to last until like 2026, 2027, where there's going to be, top protections on it. I think this year it's top 18. Next year it goes to top 13. If you want to make a move down the line and trade your first round draft pick, I think this is the opportunity to try to get it back from the Knicks. You could give them Burks. We could take on the draft pick, get our draft pick back, and maybe you do something like Evan Fournier if you want to get your draft pick back. Or maybe you're looking at the Pelicans, and I'm glad Alan said it. He said I'd get Herb Jones. Herb Jones that actually is on the trading block right now. Like, that's something. That's interesting. Good defender. Really athletic. Good player. But I have a feeling the Pistons and the Knicks are going to do some deals, especially when it comes to Alec Burks. I think the Pistons, even though they value Isaiah Stewart, the protections on that draft pick, to me, I think hinder any type of movement they want to make with the trade, right? Like, you have protections on that pick, obviously. They're so heavily protected. Like, this, like, top 18. No way the Pistons are going to have the 18th pick this year. They have the worst record in the league. So the Pistons are going to keep their draft pick. But if you look at the protections, each and every year goes like top 13, top 9, whatever. You want to get it back. Like, let's say you want to go make a trade. Like, you can technically trade it, but like, there's so many, hoops you have to jump through to actually trade it. I think if I'm the Pistons, I'm trying to see what it's going to take to get my first round draft pick back from the New York Knicks. If you have to trade Alec Burks, I mean, why not? Only player I'd really look at is maybe a Quentin Grimes. Maybe Evan Fournier, because he's on the last year of a deal and you can create more cap space that way. But I'd really like to get the Detroit Pistons first round draft pick back without those stupid protections. But I want to know what you guys think in the comments about that. Would you trade Alec Burks? Are you guys opposed to trading him? Do you want to keep him? Do you want to bring him back? We're going to the comment section and see what you guys are saying about the Pistons possibly trading Alec Burks to either the Knicks that have interest and the New Orleans Pelicans. Absolutely. Yes, I agree. Yeah. I'm glad you agree with me. I know not all the time you guys agree with me, but like I think at some point, like you have to try to get your first round draft pick back. Like if you want to go make a trade, like it's kind of complicated right now. I was reading an article from Keith Smith, who's a cap space expert, saying like the Pistons can make a trade, they can trade their draft pick, but it's complicated. You have to jump through a lot of hoops, and the Knicks have to agree to it. It's like I think if the Pistons feel that they're maybe a piece or two away and they want to include a future first round draft pick, like why not try to go get it back? Uh got D Buck. I say no, keep Burks and Boyan. Okay, yeah. See, D Buck, I welcome these comments. I really do. I really do. Good vets. I agree with you. But at the same time, it's like last year of a deal. Let's see what you can get for him. I got Maurice. Let's say Markkinen becomes available next year. We can trade multiple for him if we have control of the pick. Yeah, if he's even available. See, Maurice, I don't honestly think he's available. Even though there are reports out there, I think Danny Ainge is just on his bullshit. I think Danny Ainge is just trying to see which teams are desperate enough to trade him multiple picks. And I think the only team that could actually do that is OKC. Because OKC does have multiple draft picks that they could trade Utah. But I don't think the Pistons could even put themselves in that competition. Honestly, because we just don't have the draft picks that Utah probably wants or is asking for. Right? Would be nice to keep, but you got to move him this year. Get that New York pick back. Yeah, I honestly like Rock. I think it just kind of hinders. Like if you want to make a trade, there's a little bit of obstacles with it. I know you could possibly trade it, but like I said, it's really complicated. I tried to understand it, but I'm a dumbass. Um, but like I said, it's really nerdy stuff. Debug. From my understanding, after a while, that first will turn into a second round pick if it not use it. Yeah, you are right. You know what? I'm just gonna look it up. Okay. I'm gonna look it up real quick for you guys. Because I want to get the right information for you guys as we're doing this podcast. Let's see. So I got to go over to Real GM. Do apologize for you guys. Okay, so we're gonna break down this pick. Okay, so this season it is top 18 protected. Okay, so it's top 18 protected in 2024. So in 2025, it is top 13 protected if it isn't settled. 14 through 30 if New York hasn't settled. Okay, so if it's not settled by next year, the Pistons are another lottery team, say, they get to keep the pick. In 2026, it's top 11 protected. So if the Pistons have a draft pick that is, anywhere below 11, they get to keep it. In 2027, it's top 9 protected. And if it isn't settled by then, D-Buck, you are 100% right. It does get settled. It does. But my argument with it is, if you do want to make future trades, if you're the Pistons and you don't want to worry about having protections until 2027, I mean, you have to at least see what New York would possibly want for it. I don't really think they would probably want a whole lot for it because they're in like a win now mode. Like maybe you give them Alec Burks, maybe they budge if you take on Evan Fournier, and maybe they could throw in a Quentin Grimes in there. Because the Knicks didn't trade for OG Anunoby just to make the playoffs and maybe win one round. The Knicks want to go pretty deep. And if you're giving them a veteran like Burks, maybe possibly you get your pick back. We'll do a couple more questions about Burks. Game Nuts. The real question with Burks is, are you going to resign him / does he want to resign? If the answer is no, send him on his way. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I'm not going to pretend like I do. I would assume, though, a veteran like him in the later part of his career probably wants to win. He probably wants to contribute to a playoff team. So you're seeing some playoff teams that have interest in him. He's been a microwave the past couple of weeks. I see some Pistons fans saying I want at least the first for Alec Burks, just the way he's been playing. But I think they move him. That's just my feeling. I think they're going to try to move him, see what they can get.